Late Night Health continues. I'm Mark Alyn, along with the insane Daryl Wayne. We're going to go to Santa Monica, California, and we're going to talk to our friend Carolina Schneider. She has a master's degree and is a registered dietitian, and she's known as Carolina the Green RD. And we're going to be talking about the SNAP program from the Farm Bill. Carolina, nice to talk to you again.
Hi, Mark. Thank you so much for having me.
Our pleasure. Let's talk about the Farm Bill's Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, known as SNAP. We were just talking about a supplement in the first part of our show. Are supplements too expensive for people who can't afford them? I mean, is that a problem?
Yes, absolutely, Mark. Although people can benefit from discount codes and coupon codes from vitamin and supplementation manufacturers, it's still an added cost to their budget. And when we're talking about populations with very low budget when it comes to getting their food and having food access, the last thing on their mind is buying supplementation and vitamins, right? The first thing they're prioritizing is food. So especially when they're feeding their families. So absolutely, I think, increasing access to vitamin supplementation is essential to make sure people can get their hands on those without, really affecting their budget too much. And again, it's something that is actually very easy. We're going to talk about this today. I'm excited, but it's quite simple for us to improve the nutrition and access to vitamin supplementation for many Americans.
Has Congress and the FDA been against supplementation? Do you know? What's your gut feeling on that?
So I think hopefully not. It's hard to say because there's so many industries involved in making decisions when it comes to food access and vitamin supplementation. I think it's more of understanding that adding vitamin supplementation to a program such as SNAP, which falls under the Farm Bill, is actually quite simple and it's inexpensive. It would not cost them anything else and any additional cost to add vitamin supplementation into SNAP so that Americans have access to it. So I think it's perhaps just bringing more awareness on the importance of vitamin supplementation. Not to say that people are per se against it, but any change that we try to make, there's always a lot of steps, right? So
right.
Change is never simple, especially when we're talking about the food industry here in the U.S. So I think it's more of bringing awareness and educating also citizens on how to push that to Congress, because a lot of people, including myself, I personally was not aware that I could have such an impact in such an easy manner, which I'll tell your viewers, your listeners here today, that they can actually make a positive impact with using maybe five minutes of their day.
All right. Well, we'll do that. Let's talk about why we need to supplement, though. I mean, if I'm eating organic broccoli and we are currently I'm in Daryl's studio in beautiful unincorporated Ventura County, California, and we are surrounded by all kinds of produce. Oranges and lemons and, just all kinds of great stuff. Eating the broccoli that I'm eating today, do I get enough nutrition out of that I don't need supplementation?
So yes and no. For many vitamins and minerals, you can absolutely get enough of from a diet alone if you have a nutritious, wholesome, well-planned diet. Yes, vitamin C, it's very easy to get in foods, even things like calcium and iron, which a lot of people need, depending, if they're pregnant, women, elderlies, they need more of those minerals and vitamins. They can definitely get that. However, there are many vitamins and minerals that unfortunately we cannot get from food alone. So one that is so important for preventing disease, and we've learned that in the last few years, is vitamin D. And unfortunately, Mark, we cannot get enough vitamin D. We cannot eat our way to proper vitamin D levels. And I'll tell you why, a few reasons. First, the best food sources of vitamin D are from animal proteins. So fish, shellfish, eggs, dairy. Think about those who do not consume those foods, including myself. I don't consume animal products, so that already makes it harder for me to obtain vitamin D.
But
Vitamin D from the sun.
let me interrupt you for a second. But humans, unlike other animals, actually can manufacture their own vitamin D by being in the sun. However, dermatologists say slather your skin with sun protection. And when you do that, you don't manufacture vitamin D. It's kind of like what do I do now? Right?
Yep, exactly. And think about not only the sunscreen, but also we are indoors. We're working from home. We're spending time indoors in the AC. We're not getting enough sun exposure. So vitamin D deficiency is extremely common in the U.S. It's something that all of us, whether we're SNAP beneficiaries or not, we are lacking vitamin D from the sun and from our diet. So vitamin D supplementation is one thing that I personally believe as a dietitian we should all have access to. So incorporating that as a SNAP benefit so that people can purchase foods and supplementation is crucial. And making sure that people are checking their levels, right, Mark? Going to the doctor regularly, at least once a year, getting your blood work done, checking your vitamin D levels. Chances are you are also deficient, like most of us. So a supplementation is truly the only way to increase your blood levels in a way that we see to be adequate. Unfortunately, not through foods.
And we have a dearth of vitamin D sufficiency in the United States. It's a shame because vitamin D is so important for production of all kinds of things in the human body. So if I take vitamin D3, 5,000 units a day, is that enough or does it depend?
That really depends on what your current levels are and, obviously what your healthcare professional, primary care physician recommends. It's different for everyone, but that is a good start. We see the 5,000 units is appropriate for increasing blood levels. But again, just please consult with your physician because we're all, we have individual needs. But Mark, making sure that people have access to this vitamin to prevent disease, like you said, respiratory illness is a huge one that we know we can prevent from adequate vitamin D levels. Preterm birth, vitamin D can prevent 60% of preterm births just by having adequate levels. Some types of cancer, cardiovascular disease, even depression and a lot of mental health disorders are associated with low vitamin D levels. So again, it's so easy to ask your Congress, Mark. I can tell you more about it because I just found out.
Yeah, good. Tell us right now. We have about a minute and a half. So quickly, how do we spend that couple of minutes to make sure that vitamins and supplements are included in the SNAP program?
Yeah, so all you have to do is go to all4vitamind.org. Click on the Take Action tab, and this wonderful nonprofit organization, Organic and Natural Health Association, they've actually done all the hard work and wrote a letter to Congress asking to get vitamin D supplementation into SNAP. All you have to do is put your name, your zip code. It takes about 2 minutes, and the letter is written for you, and it goes to your local Congress representative. So it is as simple as that, Mark. All4vitamind.org, take action, and you can make such a hopefully great impact on so many people's lives, about 40 million Americans that depend on SNAP every month to put food on the table.
And that's allforvitamind.com, and that's from our friend Karen Howard at the Organics and Natural Association. I actually saw her last week. I'm Mark Alyn, along with the insane Daryl Wayne. Carolina and I will be back along with Daryl in just a couple of moments. We invite you to visit us at latenighthealth.com. That's latenighthealth.com. Lots going on over there, and you'll be able to see a pretty picture of Carolina. And we're going to try to get her to come back on our cooking show, the Mark Alyn Cook Show, and have her make something vegan and loaded with vitamin D maybe in the next month or so. All right. I'm Mark Alyn, along with the insane Daryl Wayne. We'll be back as Late Night Health continues. Late Night Health is proud of our partnership with the EBC, the Evolutionary Business Council. Check them out at ebcouncil.com.
You're listening to Late Night Health with Mark Alyn. The show continues in a moment.
Recently, I met Jacqueline from Bright here in Los Angeles. She gave me a hearing exam and then showed me how to hear again with the new Signia Pure Series hearing aids, and she can give you your life back too. I hear birds chirping, birds cooing, and even my wife. They easily connect to my smartphone. The Signia hearing aids are amazing, and with the charge and go, I don't have to fiddle with batteries and hear all day long. Not hearing is frustrating for you and your family. I know you don't have a problem, but trust me, call Bright Here now for a free hearing exam, a $125 value, yours free, just for making an appointment now. There are offices throughout the Los Angeles area. Call Bright Here now at 323-424-7100. That's 323-424-7100 for a free hearing exam. There's no obligation. Call now, 323-424-7100, or visit them on the web at brighthere.com.
If you're listening to Late Night Health right now, you're part of the growing target of baby boomers we're serving. Hi, I'm Daryl Wayne, producer of Late Night Health, inviting you to join the Late Night Health family. If you have any business targeting the growing boomer market, Late Night Health is the ideal advertising vehicle for you. From vitamins to insurance, alternative health to Western-style medicine, Late Night Health caters to the growing population of those over 40 years old. This vibrant demographic has expendable income to fight aging, purchase travel, take care of aging parents, or just have fun. Find out about the advertising opportunities with Late Night Health. Call us at 805-391-0308. That's 805-391-0308, or email us at info@latenighthealth.com. That's info@latenighthealth.com. Join Late Night Health as we empower people to take charge of their own health care. Call now at 805-391-0308. That's 805-391-0308. Sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Words are a critical aspect of success. How you get your point across is a crucial part of what makes anything sell. So do it right and hire a writer. Whether it's articles, blog posts, technical writings, website content, product descriptions, or ghostwriting anything from a novel to a nonfiction book about your navel, contact Servet Hassan. If you want it to sell, write it right. Email Servet at servet@servethassan.com.
It's time to tackle a tough topic, one that affects us all. We're talking about sexism in the workplace. The award-winning Identifying the Elephant in the Room series is back and ready to tackle some complicated communications issues again. This spring, we're focusing on critical communication strategies in the face of sexism. Join us as we hear from professionals in the natural products industry who have valuable career lessons to share and real-world experience to discuss from all sides of the elephant. It's time to have an honest and open conversation about the impact of sexism in the workplace and how we can make it better for everyone. Identifying the Elephant in the Room series starts March 16th. Register today at inicibox.vfairs.com. That's INICIBOX.VFAIRS.com, and join the conversation to be part of the solution. Late Night Health continues. I'm Mark Alyn, along with the insane Daryl Wayne. From Santa Monica, California, we have our friend Carolina Schneider. She is known as Carolina the Green RD. Growing up in South America, as you did, is the food better down there? I mean, the overall quality of vegetables, for example?
I would say they're more fresh, Mark. I mean, we are definitely a tropical country. I'm from Brazil, and I believe the foods are just more local, they're fresher, and they're not traveling across country in most cases to get to people's homes. So I think that's the main difference. We can actually get access to those here in the U.S. as well. It's just all it takes is just knowing where to go to shop for your produce.
So if somebody's on a program, an assistance program, is it worth it for them to spend the money on organic food? I just bought a dozen eggs. I paid about $4 for the dozen eggs. At the same time, non-organic eggs were about $2 for, I think, even 18 eggs. Was it worth it, the extra $2?
Mark, I will put it this way. If you have the financial means and you're able to make that choice, that's wonderful, especially for eggs. However, for many people, especially, in SNAP, unfortunately, their budget is tight when it comes to food. So I would rather them, instead of focusing on organic or not, because unfortunately we know the price difference can be quite large, I would rather people focus on getting wholesome food. So egg isn't a wholesome food. So if they're able to purchase organic, great. If not, just having more wholesome fruits, vegetables, lean proteins such as eggs, whole grains, and beans, lentils into their diet is crucial. But Mark, like you were saying, organic is wonderful, and getting access to local produce is also great. So one thing that people can do, whether you're a SNAP beneficiary or not, is shop at local independent grocers and natural product stores. And I'll tell you why. Usually those stores are so much more mindful about the food they offer, right? So there are better offerings. There are a lot of local farmers that distribute their foods through local independent grocers and natural product stores. So not only you're getting access to that fresh food we were talking about earlier, but you're also supporting the local economy. You're supporting local farmers, so that you don't have to purchase a tomato that's coming from the other side of the country. So that's one thing everyone can do now to get their hands on more fresh, nutritious food options.
In Brazil, do they have the designation organic and non-organic?
Yes, they do. It's a similar process as here in the U.S. But Mark, one good thing for people to know is, although organic is great, a lot of foods such as avocados, bananas, fruits that we're not consuming the skin or they have a thick skin, those are not as important to buy organic, because we've seen research that the pesticides actually don't travel their way into the flesh of the fruit or the vegetable. So things like strawberries, tomatoes, spinach, you're eating the whole fruit and the veggie. So those you should prioritize organic if able, within your budget. Avocados, bananas, other thick skin fruits, not so important.
I have thin skin, so if somebody criticizes me, I cry. Anyway, taking a look at somebody who is on an assistance program like SNAP, they have to make a decision on healthy eating. Now, you promote a plant-based diet. Is that less expensive than, I guess, buying beef, chicken, fish?
Actually, yes, depending on what you're buying. So let me clarify. If you're buying staple food items such as beans, lentils, chickpeas, you're buying them in their raw or dry form, right, where you have to cook it, or even canned beans, canned chickpeas, whole grains such as brown rice, quinoa. If you're buying them in their dry form, they are very inexpensive. Oats, peanut butter. So yes, it can be actually a lot more inexpensive than buying, meat. But if you're there buying these new plant-based products that are coming out every day, that are packaged, that are more processed, those would be more expensive. So I think it's just knowing how to shop.
Are canned beans, they're so much easier, okay, to use, because if you buy the dried beans, you have to boil them, you have to cook them. It's time consuming. Are those okay to eat? You mentioned those, and they are generally less expensive.
Correct. I think those are great options. Again, if you're unable to make your beans from scratch, the one tip I have is to rinse them really well. So if you find canned beans that are in water with no salt added, that's the best option. If you can't find that, if they're in water with salt, just make sure to rinse them thoroughly before you consume them, and that reduces the sodium content by about 40%. So they're great, inexpensive. They also last for a long time, which is great. They're more shelf stable. So I think those are great options for everyone to add.
And I've made vegetarian, well, actually vegan chili using canned canned beans. Yes, really good stuff. Doesn't come out as good as some of the other chilies, but it's a start. Well, right? In taking a look at assistance programs, what do you know? What the level of help is right now? I mean, can somebody on these like a SNAP program, can they buy vitamins or supplements?
No. So currently they only have access to food items. And Mark, another thing that, would be a great addition to the SNAP program beyond adding vitamin D supplementation is just getting more, giving people more education when it comes to how to make the best food choices. So right now people have access to healthy foods. They also have access to processed, not so healthy foods. So having stricter guidelines on how people can spend their SNAP benefits, it's important. And we currently don't have that. But they do not have access to vitamins. They can definitely go ahead and shop at these local independent grocers that we talked about. They can actually just Google natural grocers directory or the infra store directory to see where they can shop for these great foods, but unfortunately not yet vitamin supplementation. So hopefully we can change that in this new farm bill.
And also at the same time, what about the large national grocers, Kroger's, which last year bought Albertsons and Vons here in Southern California, and that was Ralph's. It's Ralph's too. There's Safeway, and all of these national grocers do have organic sections. Is that okay to use?
Yes, absolutely. Again, whatever you have access to. But the local independent grocers and natural product food stores tend to have better, more local options, right? So you're mentioning, these big grocery chains. They're likely getting the cheapest produce that they can. So that it's coming from all over the U.S., whereas local independent grocers and natural product stores, they are prioritizing local economy, local farmers. So you're getting more nutrition, for your buck, and you're also supporting the local farmers. But that food is a lot fresher because it just came from a local farm. So that would be the best choice if people have access to that.
Coming here to Daryl's studio, I found a stand. 8 avocados for $5. That's less than $1 an avocado. Guacamole. Holy guacamole or something like
Holy
that.
Guacamole.
Holy guacamole. Listen, we want you to go to the following website, allforvitamind.com, right? Allforvitamind.com. Go there. You can send a letter to your congresspeople and help get the farm bill passed with the SNAP program so that people who may not have the advantage of having money for supplements, they'll be able to do it. Carolina, will you come back?
Absolutely. We're going to make some vegan chili next time.
Will you? Oh, good. All right. You're going to do that
Yes.
on Mark Alyn Cooks, and I'll bring you some, Daryl. Okay. He's holding
Nice.
his breath. Listen, thank you very much, Carolina. Daryl, as always, thank you for everything you do, keeping me straight here.
My pleasure.
And thank you for tuning in and listening. Have a great week, everybody. Have a good week. Most importantly, have a healthy week. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now.